Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So this year's Halloween doll is Count Catular. I actually did two Halloween dolls, but this one is Count Catular. So he will come in this custom-made coffin. So yeah, I custom-made it and added some little embellishments on there. His little picture on the front. And he also fits into the coffin. So I lined the coffin with velvet as well, so he fits in there nicely and you can close it, but I'll get him out. Okay, so we've got Count Catular here, and he is based on a oriental, like a black oriental cat. He's got glass eyes as well. I don't know how well you can see that. Glass eyes, little vamp teeth, and obviously made of fake fur. Head is sculpted from polymer clay. But yeah, that's a little look at what he looks like. He's got a little tail hole on the fanny, so his tail can stick out as well. He's fully posable because he has that ball and socket armature inside. So yeah, the little vampire outfit was also made by me. But yeah, he's pretty cool. I really like the way he turned out. I don't know if he's one of my favorite cats that I've made so far, but he's available in my shop as well. Payment plans are also welcome, very welcome. I'm pretty flexible with them. So he'll come with his cape, obviously, and also his little vampire coffin, and also like a little Count Catular emblem thing. Just, I don't know, I thought it was cute, so I wanted to add one. But yeah, if you want to know how I made this guy, then keep watching. Okay, so I'm starting off with a aluminium foil core, and I'm going to be sculpting the head for this one in Sculpey Original, which is like a softer polymer clay. You can get harder polymer clays like Super Sculpey if you like that, but I like working with soft clays. So this sculpt is based on a Oriental Shorthair cat, of a breed of cat, and so the head is a little bit strange. It's a little bit longer than a normal cat, so I thought I'd add this to my action cat collection where I make cats doing weird things, and this one is going to be a Dracula cat, or Count Catular. So I basically mapped out the head shape over the aluminium core, and then I start adding some little bit of details to start sketching out where I want the nose to go, the mouth, the eyes, all the little details before I add the finer details. So when I'm happy with a really rough shape of the head, I can start adding the eyes in and building up on top of the eyes. So I basically create like a little eye well. I use glass cabochons for the eyes. Sometimes I paint them, sometimes I make them, sometimes I buy them. But these ones, I can't remember what these ones are. I think they're bought. They're just yellow cat eye ones. So I basically make an eye well for the cabochon to sit on, and then I can start building up the brow line, the eye lines, all that sort of detail around it. So for the eyelids, I basically just roll out a teeny tiny snake and place it over the top of the eye, cut off the excess, and sort of shape it into a look that I like. You can achieve a whole lot of different looks from just squiggling around and moving around the little worms to create like an angry look or a worried look, a happy. You can create so many looks just by moving this little worm around. So it says I forgot to record the rest of the sculpting on this one, but anyway, I sculpt with them some really large ears and then I painted it up black because this is going to have black faux fur, so I don't want the white showing through the black faux fur, so we'll paint it up to a black so it's easier to blend it. I then attach it to a ball and socket armature, so I am using a 1/8 scale ball and socket armature. I do have parts in my shop, so I have reels of this size and all the other sizes, but this is my smallest one, so I wanted to keep this cat really small because I wanted it to fit in its own little coffin. So once I've attached the armature pieces to the clay pieces, I can then start needle felting the body. So I wrap the armature around with some pipe cleaners, and this basically just catches the polyfill so it doesn't sort of just spin around, which sometimes it does. And I'm keeping this body really thin as well because it is an oriental cat, so I am wanting to keep this body thin and slender, so I'm not adding as much polyfill to the body. So I'm basically just building up on the muscle tones around the stomach area as well. I'm keeping the legs thin as well. I can always add more polyfill once I've sewn the faux fur on if I feel like I need it. But at this point, I think it's looking pretty good. I just build up the neck area a little bit before adding the faux fur. So once I'm adding the faux fur, I'm using this sort of, I found the perfect fur for a black oriental cat. So I'm really happy with what I found. It works really well. It's easy to work with as well. It just gets everywhere, this one. So I'm basically pinning the fur to the torso piece, like kind of like a vest. And then I'll sew it up, I'll trim all the excess off, sew it up with a lattice stitch, and I can work on the limbs, the tail, and the neck. So I like to just work on the torso piece first, so it's a nice solid base. So I basically just cut out some armholes, pin it all together, and then sew a zipper basically up the stomach side of the faux fur. Now I'm using a lattice stitch to sew these pieces shut. It's basically like a blind stitch that folds the fabric over on itself, so the seam line is easily hidden, especially with faux fur. And I'm using a good quality thread too, so I normally use a Gutermann thread because it's a little bit more stable. If you use cheaper thread, they tend to snap a lot. And don't use cotton thread either, because that snaps so much. And sewing on the last little piece, which is the tail, and I'm keeping the tail really thin as well because it is, again, an oriental cat, so we need a thin tail. And I basically just comb out the pile that sort of gets trapped underneath the stitch as well, so I always do that when I'm sewing anything. Once it's all sewed together, I can start gluing the pieces on. So I glue the fabric to the clay pieces using some tacky fabric glue, usually leave that overnight to dry properly. And for this one, it has a couple of props coming with it too. So of course we're going to make the Dracula cape. So I basically made this pattern out of, just made it up basically. I'm going to put it on my Patreon as well. So people have access to this pattern. I haven't put it up just yet, but hopefully when this video goes up, I can, it's up. I don't know. I'll get there. So I'm just basically using some cotton fabric, pinning it together, sewing it up with a sewing machine. I am not a seamstress whatsoever, but it worked out well, so I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And next we are working on a coffin as well. So I got this little coffin prop from Kmart from here in Australia. I thought it was going to fit nicely until I put the doll together and realised the coffin wasn't deep enough. So I ran out and bought another one and stuck the two coffin pieces together. and painted it up using some acrylic paint. I have a tutorial on how to paint faux wood grain on my channel as well if you want to know how I did it. And once that's all dry, I am layering the inside with some red velvet. And now I hate velvet. I don't like the feel of velvet, but I did it for you guys and for Count Catular. I sacrificed my sanity to use velvet for Count Catular's coffin. So basically I'm just lining the bottom of it with the velvet first and gluing it down with that same tacky fabric glue. This one actually tacked off really quickly, so I really only left it for half an hour before moving on to something else on this box. And I also went ahead and glued the velvet on the lid of the box as well. So yeah, at this point I realized it needed to be deeper. So basically I bought another one of these coffin box things and cut out the backing off it and screwed the lids off both of them so I could reuse the original lid. I glued it together using some wood glue. This wood glue is really good. It sets in 15 minutes, so I could work on it. I'm sticking the Mod Podge in there just to line it up the edges properly, so there's no, it lines up nicely and there's no sanding or anything. So it lined up really nicely when I stuck the Mod Podge in there, and I only needed to leave it for 15 minutes before it stuck. Then I can add the decorations to it, so I bought a whole lot of these little bronze embellishment things, findings, whatever you want to call it, and just decorated the outside of the coffin. I'm really happy with the way this turned out. It is available in my shop, creaturesnet.com. Payment plans are very welcome. Just shoot me a message and I'll let you know how they work. I'm really flexible with them. But yeah, this is my first Halloween doll. Stay tuned for the Hellhound. It's my second one. They're both up in my shop. Again, payment plans are welcome, creaturesnet.com. You can find me also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I do lives quite often on TikTok, so check me out there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that stuff. It helps my channel grow, and I hope to bring you some more videos soon. So I'll check you out in the next one. Bye!